And now a special presentation from Rochester First. Veterans Voices Honor Flight, Mission 92. Here's Adam Chodak.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for this special Veterans Voices. I say good evening, but really I should say good morning, because as I speak, it is 4:27 in the morning here at the Frederick Douglass Greater Rochester International Airport. And as you can see, I'm not the only one wearing orange. We are taking part in Honor Flight. We are so privileged. I'm going to be traveling with them, as is Emily Burkhart, my colleague, and you are too. Mission 92, we are going to be going to Washington, D.C., and thank goodness they provided this wonderful welcome package for the Guardians, the crew, and the veterans. And in there's goodies and sunblock. It is going to be toasty. We're going to see all the monuments, and we're going to be collecting stories along the way. So thank you for traveling with us this evening. We better get through security. 5 a.m. and the terminal is flooded with orange and excitement for the day ahead. After breakfast is served by volunteers, a little pre-flight singing. Minutes later, the 55 veterans, their guardians, and the Honor Flight crew start to board. Midway through the 45-minute flight to Baltimore, Mission 92's crew leader John Peckham gets on the intercom.
Guardians, please make sure that you're grabbing a wheelchair on your way out.
Their arrival was expected, evidenced first by a water cannon salute on the runway, then by this as they exited the plane. Recognition that won't stop the entire weekend. They even had a group called the Brownies waiting to shake their hand and escort them into the nation's capital. On the bus, the veterans opened letters addressed to them and written by local students. Bob Bush reads part of one for us.
Dear Mr. Bush, thank you so much for service. My name is Piper Alexander. You protected the American dream for all of the generations after you. I cannot express my awe at your courage for your country. Your bravery is the foundation of our freedom, and your selfless service will continue to inspire me and generations to come. I hope you have a wonderful flight. I hope DC is lovely and that the weather is great. And thank you again for your service.
As the buses slowed, the vets packed up their letters and prepared to set foot on the nation's capital. When Honor Flight started in Rochester, it was packed with World War II veterans. Nowadays, you're lucky to get one or two. That's mainly because most have already gone, but also because we're losing them quickly. That said, the first stop here at the World War II Memorial still meant a lot to the veterans who came on this trip, especially Lou Childs, whose dad served in the Navy and was in the Pacific, just like him. Did you do the Navy because of your dad?
Probably, yeah. I would say, yeah.
Making this the perfect first stop.
Right now, I'm just overwhelmed with the grandeur of what I've seen, and we've only started. You know, and we're gonna see some more stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm particularly interested in the Vietnam Memorial.
As are most of the veterans on this trip, almost all having served during the Vietnam War, and many having lost someone close in the conflict. We head to that dark wall now. Author Tim O'Brien once wrote about the things they carried, the soldiers in Vietnam, what they carried into the jungle and what they carried home. Here, along the 493 feet and 6 inches of polished black granite, we see some of it, some of what they carried, things they could touch, and things they had hoped to touch again. Today, our local veterans inched past the names, looking for the one or two they've been carrying for many years.
That one gonna be all right?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Victor Montgomery III.
I was 18 when I went in, 63 to 67.
Was looking for his platoon leader, Robert Cochran.
Kind of low-key guy. I was a little feistier. And so we got along really well. And he was squared away. Made the uniform. I was very proud.
good memories from a place that produced few of them.
It was very scary. It was a scary war. Even though we were all tough guys, there was a lot of fear going on. A lot of foxhole pricks coming to the Lord in the foxhole because we never ever saw anything like this in our lives. It was butchery. I'm looking at the wall. This is the butchery.
58,281 names, and Robert Cochran is one of them.
I saw my buddy up there. And so that chokes me up a little bit right now because it was ugly. And you know how it was, what, 50 years or more ago? My goodness gracious. And we have this kind of an emotion.
Emotion that many carry but rarely show.
So I love my Marines because we stepped up. We did what we were supposed to do, and we came home and got a reception that was not good at all with the protesters. And that's why I'm here today with our group of honor. And I'm very proud to be with these guys, 55 veterans.
Veterans like John Roman.
How do you describe it? It was hot.
Who also carried a name to this wall of names.
A friend of mine from back in the day, Dominic Kutya, who was a first lieutenant armor.
And you found him?
I did. Kind of sad, but at the same token, it kind of brings back some good memories we had together because I knew him since I was a teenager.
On every honor flight, each veteran takes a guardian. John took his son, Brian.
There's a lot of feeling involved with it because I can imagine what it feels like to go through this and have to look up, well, we didn't have to, but look up your friend's name, honoring him. So it's very honorable to be here with my father.
Brian can imagine what it feels like because he himself spent 15 years on active duty.
Have you lost friends?
Yeah. But they don't have a wall for us yet. But yes, I have.
Soon enough, hopefully.
Yeah.
That's when Brian politely ended the conversation, because sometimes, as it is with those who fought in Vietnam, among all the things they carried, they just don't have the words. At this point, we're going to take a break for lunch. When we come back, something remarkable. We have 2 women veterans on this mission, and they're going to be honored in a very special way. That's ahead. Welcome back, everyone. We are now at the Military Women's Memorial, where we're about to see a stirring recognition. That applause greeted Kathleen Ryan and Nancy Smith as they took their place before the 53 other veterans of Mission 92.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Military Women's Memorial. We are about to make a presentation to 2 of your lady veterans. So welcome Honor Flight Rochester.
With that, they were presented with their stories, printed up and read aloud. Nancy Smith, a Marine during the Cold War and Vietnam.
On behalf of Military Women's Memorial and Honor Flight Rochester, here is your story. Thank you very much.
Kathleen Ryan's story, well, she shared that with us after the ceremony.
I debriefed Soviet refugees.
A tactical field interrogator in Germany, Kathleen was someone not to be trifled with.
Do you speak Russian then?
Yeah, all day, every day. Wow. Yeah, it was an intensive course at the Defense Language Institute in Monterey, California. where I happened to have been born when my father was a Chinese Mandarin student there.
As you might imagine, holding this job as a woman in the mid-70s was not common.
I know that the men that I served with respected me, but I also had to be twice as good as anyone else. And that's just how it is. You know, you've got to be twice as good as everyone else because, you know, that's what women were expected to do.
Eventually, Kathleen left the military, but the military did not leave her. As a social worker in primary care medicine at the Batavia VA,
I was adopted by one of the Vietnam Special Forces units.
She never turned away a fellow soldier.
And so I helped all of them, anyone who needed it, and I still do. I retired in 2015, but I still am working all the time.
Making hers a story still being written. With the Military Women's Memorial situated at the entrance of Arlington National Cemetery, the drive to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier was the shortest of the trip. There, Honor Flight Rochester was joined by other Honor Flight groups from around the country, all there to watch the changing of the guard. And during this day of travel and chatter, the quiet of this moment seemed as powerful as the ceremony itself.
Ready? Face! Point! Arms!
A half hour later, nearby steps provided the perfect spot for group shots. First, just the veterans. Then, vets and their guardians. And finally, the vets, the guardians, and the Honor Flight crew. At the U.S. Marine Corps War Memorial, we spotted our first chance to talk with trip leader John Peckham, who had been here, there, and everywhere since, well, I don't know how early in the morning. This was John's first go as trip leader, but it's a role he began training for years ago.
And I've been here ever since Mission 10.
Mission 92, are you ready?
Since then, he's watched the Honor Flight program grow in the number of flights each year, and grow in the number of vets they take on each flight. And for each flight, there's been huge growth in the amount of planning.
There's gathering of applications. There's our health and safety folks that are going over the medical on each of the veterans, making sure that no matter what their medical conditions are, we're going to be able to support them. There's an awful lot of stuff going on in logistics as far as arranging the air travel, arranging our accommodations, arranging the bus travel, arranging food. There's a lot of moving parts.
While the time John and other volunteers put in is free, all of the other stuff is definitely not. The cost to do this for one veteran is roughly $870.
Well, first and foremost, we're able to accomplish this mission through the generosity of the folks in the Rochester area. And then we have an awful lot of events over the course of the year where we're sending our volunteers out, we're giving information about Honor Flight Rochester, soliciting donations, and just doing everything we can to capture more veterans, bring them out on our trips, as well as helping to make sure that we've got the funding to bring them down.
The plan is to keep doing this and to keep growing for as long as the community backs it. In that time, expect no shortage of orange shirts and vets to wear them. Well, our shadows are getting long, which means it's almost time to head back to the hotel. One more stop, though, to the Air Force Memorial. It has been a day of travel around D.C. When we come back, we're going to travel back in time. Welcome back to the airport. We're about to fly back to Rochester. Mission 92 is about to come to a close. And as it happens, NewsAid traveled along for Mission 1 in 2008. Here's the report they filed back then.
On the Honor Flight Rochester, welcome aboard.
From the start, the World War II veterans are treated like heroes, quickly moving up to first class on the Honor Flight headed from Rochester to the National World War II Memorial.
I think this is great. This is a nice treat for us fellas.
It's probably the first time we've really been recognized for the time we spent.
The men are from towns near Rochester, including Webster, Fairport, Leroy, and Penfield. They come from different backgrounds in the military and have different stories to tell, from battles in Europe to the Pacific. But they now have a common bond and goal: to make it to the memorial before it's too late.
The kids in high school that we all went in at about the same time, they're all dead. Not from the war, but just from aging.
More than 1,000 veterans from the greatest generation die each day. By noon Saturday, our local veterans have made it, standing before the monument on the National Mall between the Lincoln Memorial and the Washington Monument. Walking into the memorial can be breathtaking. 2 main arches, 56 granite pillars, and the Freedom Wall all make up the monument made in the name of the men who were visiting for the first time.
I don't have words to express myself right now. I'm telling you, I'm so excited.
Oh man, I've been looking forward to this forever.
It's nicer than I thought it'd be. It's real nice. It's something we waited a long time for.
Thank you for your services. Many of the men are greeted with thank yous from total strangers. And for the first time, they feel honored.
It was worth what we done, you know, to be treated this way finally.
This gives me a feeling of I did something and I was recognized for it.
For the first time in more than 60 years, they feel like the heroes they are.
Fast forward 27 years and Mission 92 is back home. Getting off the plane, getting greeted by local dignitaries, then gathering and getting 2 final messages from John Peckham. First, every veteran deserves this experience.
Whether you were drafted or you enlisted, you raised your hand to the square, you put your life on hold, you went everywhere you were told to go. No matter what job you performed, no matter where you may have been stationed, everybody served an important role. Each of you has earned this weekend. Never forget that.
The second message, get ready for what's to come.
To all my veterans here today, you did not receive the proper homecoming, but all that changes today. Thank you, each and every one of you, for your service, and welcome home.
With that, the group got out of Concourse A and into a parade. When we come back, one of these local veterans reflects on the trip. Minutes after the procession, the vets and their guardians found themselves in a side room at the airport, listening to an absolutely beautiful rendition of God Bless America, followed by some closing remarks.
Thank you for your service and sacrifice to this country.
And afterwards, local veteran Greg Fitch, as he was about to head out, provided a perfect takeaway.
Oh, it was just awesome. It was first class. It was memorable. And I just wish every senior in our high schools could come to these memorials and experience the sacrifice that thousands of men laid down their lives. And of course, it doesn't stop there. It goes to their families that'll never be the same. And just being there just shows you how much it is for these families and people. I just wish that every senior could come and experience this. And I think it would be the best lesson that we could ever have for this next generation to enjoy the freedoms that they now deserve.
Well, here we are. It is 2:19 in the afternoon, and it is time to go home. I hope you've enjoyed traveling with us on Mission 92. On behalf of News 8, our photojournalist Emily Burkhart, and myself, I want to thank the entire Honor Flight crew, the Guardians, and especially the veterans for letting us tag along. It was a trip of a lifetime. And thank you for watching this special edition of Veterans Voices. Take care.